Hey, everybody! Thanks for having me on. What a great week for dragons. What a great week for Dragon Ball. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Welcome. It's been a while since we've had you on, Evan, but it's good to have you back, and it's good to have you here because I know you and the rest of the comic book anime team have been hard at work. I actually don't remember this scene. What happened right here? When was this? Anyway.
Did it all leave your mind already? Come on now.
No, there was a brief moment where I might have passed out, but I was just very tired. Because
by the way, he did.
Yeah.
He totally did.
Yeah. There was a brief moment I passed out. It happens a lot in movies these days. I have 2 children, you all. I'm like, yeah, I have a very busy life. But it was only very brief, which is a testament to this movie because I couldn't stay asleep very long because, yeah, this was just too action-packed to kind of do that. So... Mm-hmm. Let's get into Dragon Ball Superhero. Yeah, this has been an interesting film because this opened lower in Japan than just about any other Dragon Ball film of recent memory or anime film for a lot of it, which was kind of a concerning sign, but it's opening huge in overseas markets, including being a new record setter here in the US with 22 million, which is, and I did an article about comparing recent anime openings, like even franchises you think are so big, like My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, like even their box offices, you're talking about topping off at the high teen millions for their opening weekend, and Dragon Ball is just kind of shooting up past that and co-opening with 21, bordering on 22 million. So that's a big deal for where anime is as a box office draw, and it's interesting that this particular film is performing so well overseas and not in Japan.
Yeah.
My whole theory is because of the Gohan factor. This movie trades out Goku and Vegeta, the main characters of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Super, particularly, and brings back Gohan, who was really the undercover kind of main character of Dragon Ball Z. And I think that explains some of the box office is because the majority of people in the West, I know this, got exposed to Dragon Ball through Dragon Ball Z. I got it in the 90s when it was broadcast on what is now the CW, like on Sunday mornings. But then during the 2000s, of course, it came out in DVDs. Then it was kind of recut and remastered. It was put on streaming services. And so people have really discovered Dragon Ball Z. And as anime becomes more and more and more and more mainstream, people have gone back. This is one of the staples you got to watch, right? Oh, you got to watch Dragon Ball Z is the one people have heard about. So Gohan is a known entity to a lot of people on the Western side. He's like their hero, the guy that they kind of got behind. So I understand why this movie about Gohan, essentially becoming the man again is so popular here. So I'm not mad at it. I've been Team Gohan for a long time. I've been somebody who's mad at Dragon Ball Super for kind of essentially abandoning a lot of the story threads that Dragon Ball Z set in motion. And I'm happy with where the franchise is going. And we'll get into that because there was more stuff this week that happened. But
so much.
Yeah, so much stuff. But yeah, Matt, we threw you in. This was your first Dragon Ball experience. What did you think?
I did not really, I knew what to expect from I've seen footage, obviously, of Dragon Ball. I'm not like that. Let's see, unprepared. I've seen stuff, right? But I didn't expect, number one, the animation style, like the way this looks I love this. Everything just pops so much on the screen. Like all the characters, the fights themselves, the cool effects. I love just like the visuals of this movie. I was really taken by that because I didn't really expect it going in. I didn't know this was the first one that they'd really done this style, I guess, right? Is that the case? Yeah. I wasn't aware of that. So number one, I was just like, this looks super cool. Also, I came away with a couple of favorite characters that I didn't know anything about. I knew Piccolo was the green one, right? Or like one of the green ones. That's like what I knew, right? I mean, I'm serious. This is what I knew. So then I came away just like loving that character. And a big part of that is the like really fun dynamic between him and Pan, who I just adored. Oh my God. Now, yes, I know part of that is because I see Ember in every kid that's out, right? I see it, right? I get it. But still, it's adorable. Like the flying thing and like the back and forth between them is so sweet. And that also made me invested in Gohan's story because I was mad at him at first. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you shirking your parental responsibilities for? Why's your head in a book?
He's only doing what he learns.
Stuff, right? I understand. So like, there was stuff like that really got me invested. I also will say that it was nice to have a couple new characters for someone like me coming into this and go like, I even asked you at one point, I was like, am I supposed to know anything about them? And you're like, no, like they're brand new. Dr. Hito is amazing. Dude eats Oreos all the time. He's just eating Oreos for like, I feel like half the movie he spends eating from a plate of Oreos, and like it's so amazing.
And that's a good pause, because I think this was something you didn't realize about anime, but like that I was just like, oh yeah, this is like totally anime. That you were just like amazed that they took time to animate like simple things like him popping out more Oreos and like sitting there and how many Oreos we're eating. You were like fascinated by this. I was like, oh no, bro, that's anime. Like those little kind of weird life flourish details that they spend so much time like intricately animating.
There's that whole sequence where remind me who his two
Gamma,
creations.
Gamma
Yes.
1 and
Okay.
Gamma 2, yeah.
So there's that whole sequence where I was just losing my mind over the thing. And Kobe kept looking at me like, oh my God, I can't take this dude anywhere, right? So I'm like sitting over there giggling because like there's this whole sequence where one is trying to get the other to pose.
Yeah,
he's trying to get him to do the superhero pose behind them while they're having this like super serious conversation.
Yeah, because Gamma 2 is very much like into the superhero thing, but Gamma 1 is very much like not in like
that stuff. Just made my day, man. That was so good. But like just overall, by the end of this, when we get to the big kind of final battle and everything, I was invested. Like I came away liking these characters and caring about what happened to them. Not so much the like Goku of it all, but I also liked that, like, I thought this was going to be, I didn't know anything coming in. I thought this was going to be a Goku movie because that is the character I have seen the most associated with Dragon Ball. So I assumed that's what this was going to be. And coming away from it, I kind of liked that was a relatively small part of the movie. And I really gravitated towards these other characters. And I think it actually made me more excited than if it had just been a kind of typical Goku big long storyline battle stuff that I don't know if I would have been as engaged.
And in that, you have made Toei Animation extremely happy, because that's essentially what this movie does. If you know anything about Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Super, Dragon Ball Z was very much about the Z Fighters, it was about Goku, but it was also about the entire ensemble of heroes on Earth that fight with Goku. Like we said, it was all about Gohan, kind of his ascension to being like the successor of Earth's protector. Piccolo leveled up. Everybody kind of leveled up throughout that series. And it was very much about all of them, the entire ensemble. If you look at Dragon Ball Z, the marketing, it's all about, the whole group and all of them. Dragon Ball Super, after some kind of off years for the franchise, Dragon Ball Super comes along and they're just like, we're going to refine this down to the things we know work. Goku, Vegeta, color changes. Like, that's what we're doing. That's what happened in Dragon Ball Super for most of the time. I mean, storylines they're okay, but none of them, except for like the two simple tournaments that brought cool characters to fight from other universes and introduced that, none of them really stick that strongly. Or an evil version of Goku that's complicated with timelines, and some other immortal version of himself, a variant, like some Kang type-ish, is just out there. But like, the storylines don't stick as well as Dragon Ball Z. The conflicts, the arcs, they're not as exciting, except, like I said, tournaments where it was mainly a showcase of, now we're expanding the entire universe of this series with all these new characters from different universes, Saiyans from a good Saiyan universe, all this stuff, and that got people excited. But in the process, it was always about just Goku and Vegeta getting new colors, leveling up, and that was it. The rest of it's become a joke that the rest of the characters from Dragon Ball Z don't even belong in there. And now in some of the issues of the manga, when they get meta about it, they have characters being like, I don't even belong in this anymore, because they can't possibly fight the level of fights that they're having. So this was very much a corrective measure, because Gohan, we know, is the strongest. Like the last series said that. He's stronger than all these people. And so you've just been having that sit there while he's just been kind of D'ing around doing intellectual stuff and not fighting and doing that. He was in the tournament, but he was just weak sauce in the tournament compared to like Goku and Vegeta. And so, it was time to correct that. And so this movie's correcting that. Mm-hmm. Well, at the same time, the manga is doing other things to kind of push us into other directions. Evan, why don't you tell us what's going down in Dragon Ball Z? Because we just finished a long-ass arc.
Long arc. First, I wanted to say it's really great to hear Matt's perspective, because I love hearing about people who dive into the series, because honestly, it's a giant task to just jump in. There's 30 plus years of story, and I thought that they did a really good job of presenting the film with like a 2.5 minute opening, if you all remember that opening where they kind of run down everything when it comes to the Red Ribbon Army and everything. So I'm really happy to hear that Matt really enjoyed it, because, you know, it does attempt to kind of bring everything together in that. For those who might not know, Dragon Ball Super is continuing to tell new stories in its manga, even though the television series is currently on hiatus. We don't know when it's coming back. We don't know if it's coming back. I mean, really, knock on wood, it's going to come back eventually. But they just finished a big arc that's called, wait for it, Granola the Survivor arc, which dives into the past of the race that spawned Goku and Vegeta, which is the Saiyan race. It presented an intergalactic bounty hunter who uses his planet's Dragon Balls in order to become the strongest being in the universe. That also drastically reduces his lifespan. And the last chapter brought back what is arguably the biggest villain of the franchise, who is Frieza. Much like Goku and Vegeta and so many other characters in Dragon Ball, when he gets new transformations and new power-ups, he gets a new color. Previously, he had returned with Golden Frieza, and now he has arrived with Black Frieza, which is has blown a lot of fans' minds. And we don't know when that's going to happen in the anime. We don't know if it's going to take place in a movie or what have you. But the manga is currently taking a little break, and it should return with a new arc that they haven't revealed any details about so far. But honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing what they'll do. There's a number of events that they can pull from with Dragon Ball Superhero that they can kind of incorporate into it if they want to move forward.
Yep. And that's the big question right now. Then the debate in the fandom is, how much will Dragon Ball Superhero actually then be retroactively imported into the main series? Because it seems like this was very purposeful to do in a purpose, not like old Dragon Ball Z movies, which were kind of one-off, non-canon stories. This seems like purposeful course correction to align these characters better with what's happening in the main series. Because, I mean, arguably, Frieza swore he's coming back to Earth to kick some butt in the Broly movie. And so after the Tournament of Power, he knew he didn't have the power to kind of stand, because he got overpowered too by Goku and Vegeta. So now he's back. So it could take a fully powered Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan, and Piccolo, and all these people to kind of, you know, settle some beef with Frieza. But yeah, it's exciting times, and Dragon Ball seems to be doing some course correction, setting itself up for a new era. So it's a good time to jump in. I saw people talking.
Very good time.
Yeah, they're throwing this series, Dragon Ball Super, everywhere. It's on Hulu. It's on Crunchyroll. I think it's on Netflix now.
Really?
Yeah, it's on another streaming service. I forget which one. It's on.
I said that.
I don't quote me on that, but like it is on multiple.
Funimation for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, it's out there. Dragon Ball Super is one of the most accessible ones, you know, going right now.
This made me want to learn more about the series.
Oh,
I will say,
awesome.
I don't know how.
Great.
I don't know whether to go read or to jump into the show. Like, I don't really know how to do that, really, because I still come away a little bit like, I don't know where to go next. But I did.
Well, let me put on my anime hat, and I can walk you through. And this is great for the audience as well, because anime isn't going away, and it's becoming more popular. And obviously, since Dragon Ball Superhero was the #1 movie in North America, like, people are starting to kind of recognize that, like, this medium is kind of blowing up. So if you want, Matt, and any audience members who haven't gotten into the anime that is Dragon Ball, you can currently read them on Viz, which is they're the English printers of the manga online, and they have a great deal where you spend like $2 a month and you can read everything in their back category or whatever, or their library. You can read Dragon Ball from start to finish. I think you could probably do it in, I want to say, probably like a week to kind of catch you up.
Oh yeah. No. I've said it multiple times on this show that Viz subscription is the best bang for your buck you're going to get.
It's really good. But also, if you have a subscription to like Crunchyroll, you have a subscription to Hulu. I'm not sure if they have the original Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z on Hulu, but they also they did release a series that was called Dragon Ball Z Kai, which is effectively it tries to it edits, it cuts, it slashes and burns a number of footage and kind of puts it all together into less episodes for you to watch. So I would say that would be kind of the best if you want to dive into the anime. Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball series, which came out in like the 1980s, does have some important stuff in it. But if you want to bypass that and just run into Dragon Ball Z immediately, you can totally do that, and I don't think you'll be missing.
Yeah, no. If you start with Z, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
because it changed the mythology so much from the original series and kind of went in this whole different direction. Like, yeah.
All
It's
right.
like an
Yeah,
Outcast
definitely.
album. Like,
I'm down for that. An Outcast album.
no, seriously. Like, by the time
I'm down for
they were
that.
like, they went from just being like Street Fighters to like now we aliens to like, yeah, it gets crazy. But
That sounds
yeah.
awesome.
All right, but that's it for anime. There's a lot more going on in the anime genre right now, so keep it locked to comicbook.com. Anime, we got My Hero Academia is coming back. We still got one season of Attack on Titan to finish by next year. We'll definitely be talking about all that when that happens. Got a new one called Chainsaw Man coming down the pike.
That looks awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot to talk
it's
about.
so good.
We'll be doing more anime because we got to tell you guys. I mean, we're not doing enough service for that. We got to service all of geek culture and tell you guys why you should be checking some of this out. So thank you, Evan, for coming on. Dragon Ball Super Superhero is killing it at the box office and is in theaters right now. It is a good jumping on point, and you need some brief history they go over in the beginning. But after that, you can kind of get into it. Matt's okay. See?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
That's fun.
So thank you,
Thank
Evan.
you, guys.
And we're going to move on now.